Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. I'd like to share with you another narration from the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. And this is a short statement from him, but has a lot of meaning, and it has various levels of depth and many lessons for us to ponder. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم اتق الله حيثما كنت. Be mindful of God wherever you may be. وأتبع السيئة الحسنة تمحها. And follow up a bad deed with a good deed that will erase it. وخالق الناس بخلق حسن. And treat people with beautiful character. So the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, in this one hadith he gives us three levels or three areas of interaction. Our first level of interaction is our relationship with God the Exalted, with Allah. اتق الله حيثما كنت. Be mindful of God wherever you may be. Whether you're in public, around people, or whether you're alone. You have to be mindful because we believe that God sees and hears all things. So that even if a person is alone, even if a person could do something that is wrong and sinful, that no one would ever know about, we believe that God is aware of it. So اتق الله حيثما كنت. Be mindful of God wherever you are. That is the right that you owe God. When you have an opportunity, but that opportunity presents itself in a way that you have to lie to get ahead, be mindful of God because He knows what is in your heart. So a person has to take that into account. If a person is alone and they might do something that harms themselves or harms someone else, they have to be mindful of God. Even if they'll get away from it, from other people, and they'll be safe from their criticism or their punishment, the reality is that God sees and hears all things. So the way of the believer is to have a heart that is alive with the remembrance of God and mindfulness, taqwa of Him, subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is our first duty and our first responsibility. Our relationship with God. That we follow His commands, that we obey and worship Him as is His due, and that we avoid those things that He has told us to avoid that are harmful for us in this world and in the hereafter. وَأَتْبَعَ السَّيِّئَةَ الْحَسَنَةَ تَمْحُهَا. And follow up a bad deed with a good deed that will erase it. This is our relationship with our own self. This is the duty and right that we owe to our own soul. That when we do something wrong, in reality, ultimately we are harming ourselves. So when we do something wrong, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, is teaching us to follow it up with a good deed that will erase it. So that when we make a mistake, we should be quick to trying to repair the mistake that we made. And that can be in the form of righting that wrong. If it's harming someone, to apologize to that person. If it's something related to our duties to God the Exalted, then we ask God's forgiveness, or we can pray, or we can donate in charity. Whatever good deed, however easy it may be, the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, tells us, follow it up with a good deed as soon as you can that will erase it, that will overshadow the bad deed. Because that is our right upon our own self. Because when we do something that is sinful, in reality it harms us. So our own right, وَأَتْبِعَ السَّيِّئَةَ الْحَسَنَةَ تَمْحُهَا. Follow up a bad deed with a good one that will erase it. And thus a person will be in a better state with God, and in the next life, their soul and their entire existence will be one that is better because of it. And lastly, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, teaches us, وَخَالِقِ النَّاسِ بِخُلُقٍ حَسَنٍ. And treat people with beautiful character. Have a beautiful disposition when you're dealing with other people. That is our duty that we owe to humanity. So we have our duty to God to be mindful of Him in every moment and in every situation, whether people see us or we are alone, to be mindful of Allah. The second is to take care of our own selves and to make sure that our good deeds outweigh our bad deeds. And the last one is to be good to people. The relationship that we have with humanity, with our neighbors, with our family members, with our friends, with our co-workers, even people of other faiths. وَخَالِقِ النَّاسِ, when the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says, treat all people with beautiful character. It's universal. So if you see someone who, for example, needs help carrying something heavy, a Muslim should be the kind of person who is quick to help them carry their load. Or if there is an elderly person who needs help crossing the road, a Muslim is the kind of person who is quick to be at their side to help them. Or helping a neighbor, or giving someone food, or donating in charity, or at the very least even smiling at someone. The Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, said, don't look down on any form of good, even if it's something as simple as greeting a fellow human being, a brother or sister in humanity, with a smile. With a smile. So these are the three duties that we have that are all-encompassing. The duty that we owe God, which is obedience and mindfulness of Him. The duty that we owe ourselves, which is being good people and making sure that our state with God is one that is pleasing to Him, because that benefits us in the hereafter. And finally, the duty that we owe our brothers and sisters in humanity. So this one hadith teaches us the different areas and levels of interaction. And that when a Muslim is mindful of all these levels of interaction, then they have a very holistic experience and expression of their faith. So we ask God that He make us people of mindfulness, people of good deeds, and people of beautiful character, and that He enrich our lives with goodness towards others and to our families and to our own selves. Walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.